episode of Kush and Konvo. The incredibly talented musical mastermind behind some of hip-hop's biggest hits. The self-proclaimed facilitator, DJ Folk, in the building. Tune in as we discuss his journey throughout the industry, his views on the industry and its current state, and of course, in true Karman Kush fashion, we're going to tap into his personal life. Hey, folk!
What's good? What's good?
I'm so glad you're here.
I know it's been a long time coming.
It has.
Yeah.
I've known you for quite some time. We met in college.
It don't feel like a long time. I'm not finna reveal my age.
We're not gonna do that because then I gotta reveal mine. So we will keep it light. But I met you some years back in college, doing what we're going to discuss. You were selling mixtapes and things like that. That's how I met you. But yeah, who is DJ Folk? For those who don't know, and if you don't, you're fucking crazy. But for those who don't, who are you?
Man, I'm just a kid from a little town in Northwest Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just me, you know, facilitator. All that shit came later, you know. I've dabbled in everything, so to speak. Music was just always my journey. My dad was a DJ, so, you know, I was just born into it, so to speak. Okay.
And so, let's talk about the beginning of your journey. 18, you get a DJ kit from outside the back of the advertisements in the Source magazine.
Right.
I guess you're happy to say at this point in your career, you're glad you bought that kit, huh?
Oh yeah, almost definitely. Like it was so crazy because I told my other grandmother in North Carolina, I was just like, y'all realize that y'all started on this journey that I ended up on. And my dad, he really wasn't a big fan of me being in the music industry, but you know, he was a DJ, so he bought me the turntables, just like whatever you want for Christmas, here it is. But here we are, you know, X amount of years later, I'm not gonna reveal my age again. That, you know what I'm saying? That shit really paid off to where I wanted to be.
That's good. So I guess that in the beginning, from making the mixtapes, like I said, you started on campus at A&T and selling them around, you know, different schools and stuff like that. Did you think then, was it just for like extra money? Like, did you just think like, let me try it out, see what I was going to do? Or did you really feel like this is what I want my career to be?
I mean, at the time, in the moment, I was just trying to get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, but shit, when motherfuckers start, because, you know, I had everybody's mixtapes, and then I started putting out my shit, and I started seeing how people kind of gravitated to my shit because they felt like
you was that nigga on campus.
Yeah, so niggas started connecting it. Like, I know this nigga, I'm watching this nigga come up. So, you know what I'm saying? It just, like, I had to sit back and be like, yo, I need to really just, like, this goes along with my real goals, music-wise. I need to fucking figure it out. So, you know, by the time I got to probably the end of the first year of me doing it, I'm like, all right, I got to go. And, you know, I ended up, you know, accomplishing it here all these years later. Okay.
I'm telling you guys, when I first met Folk on campus, like, he had that shit on lock. Like, he introduced the world to a lot of the music and the artists that we know today and that we wouldn't have probably listened to had he not funneled that music to us. So shout out to all the mixtape DJs and the ones that's out there grinding, trying to get that hustle started. You really helped push and influence a lot of things that happen in the music industry. So in an interview that I read, you said that your father was a DJ in college as well.
Yeah.
Do you think that was part of the reason why you chose that profession? Do you think even if he hadn't been, that this would be the route you take?
Well, my dad was a big ass music, like he has like the vinyl records, you know, some people, you know, in this era people don't, but it's still, vinyl is actually up 30-40%, that's a whole nother story. But you know, he had this big ass music collection, so, you know, it just felt like I was always destined to do something in music because of that foundation, so to speak. He doesn't look at it like that now, you know, he probably didn't look at it then like that, but now he probably looks at it like, oh, I did set the seeds for him to grow into the music industry, so, you know, that's where it comes from. But he was a DJ, you know, you know, like, just really made, like, weekends and stuff. He kind of left it alone, but he still kept collecting music. Okay. So, you know, I was always hearing stuff on Sunday mornings with him and my mom. He was always playing these old records. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But, you know, it kind of helped me out a lot because I knew what was good and what was bad.
So, sonically, that's why you have that ear, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, being so influenced and growing up, can you say that you really fell in love with it? Like, do you know, like, around what age, what song you might have heard that changed your perspective?
Oh, it was so funny. It was probably like, it was so many different records. Probably Wu-Tang when they came around with.
Wow.
Yeah, they Wu-Tang. This is gonna be real funny. The first like tape that I got, y'all are really gonna laugh, was fucking Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer. When I was a jit, I was just like, yo, you couldn't tell me them two albums were the greatest albums ever. But really, when I got a little bit older, it was like, you know, that whole Wu-Tang, you know, 94 to 90, whatever, you know, like that shit just took it to another level. Then I started like fucking with The Source and, you know, different John Blaze, I think it's Blaze magazine back then. It was some rap pages, Murder Dog, all those little magazines. I just started like just falling in love with music, rap music per se, and just, I was a little different because I kind of, me being from Georgia, I was exposed to like Outkast early on, like the Kilos, right. all the Booty Shake, Jermaine Dupri, like the Brad, Crisscross, all that shit. You know, fucking Camp over on the west side. A lot of niggas don't really know about them. They were part of that shit. You know, all that shit just was all in one. And then I was listening to, like, a lot of my peers were listening to, like, you know, South and West Coast music, while I was listening to South and East Coast music.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's where it comes.
Okay. And who would you say is maybe your favorite artist, song, album, producer, DJ, any of that element, somebody that really influenced you coming up, where you could say, you know, I always check out their music, or I've never been let down by this artist. This is somebody that I seek to know. When they drop, I'm getting it.
Well, from a rap perspective, probably Nas at first. Producer-wise, DJ Premier. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to buy every album he produced on. I didn't care if it was the most obscure shit. I would buy it just because he produced the record on it. Okay. But that was just, you know, my infatuation with that sound. So, you know, at the time, that was everything. Nowadays, I'm not really a big fan of a lot of music that's out, but, you know, I really don't listen to a lot of new stuff. I check it out because that's what I have to do because of my job, but a lot of stuff don't move me.
Okay. And what elements do you think matters or that you think is really, you know, useful or needed from an artist or producer to make them great? What do you listen to? What do you think, like, that person got it because of this particular element?
It's all about really your work ethic and what kind of person you are. Like, if you have to, like, eat, sleep, breathe this shit, you gotta be kind of a student of the game. Know who came before you. You know, you don't have to, like, dick ride them, but you just pay homage and shit like that. But you gotta work, cause man, I've seen so many artists fall by the wayside in my whole little career where I'm like, they got the wave, but they didn't realize it. And then you know you have certain people that were taken from his track, like Bankroll. Like, I worked with that kid from the beginning, so I know he had the it factor too. And whether he sold a whole lot of records was a whole nother story, but he had the factor to make him, you know, potentially maybe become a superstar. But, you know, he was taken from us, and, you know, it still hurts me to this day. Me and D Rich, you know, that's when the Jeezy produced. He was Bankroll's producer. He produced, you know, and me and him talk about Ball. We call him Ball. Like every time, every day almost when we're in the studio, we talk about, man, Ball was out here. You know, this shit would be a whole lot different. Some of the young artists that's coming, you know, people feel like they that nigga, it would have been him.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. And you first got your foot in the game through an internship with Grind Hustle.
Yeah, correct.
So, what was that like? Like, when you got the call and they really said, we want you to show up Monday, Tuesday, 2 o'clock, we need you here. Like, what was that feeling like?
Well, the story about this is a funny story because they had Industries 3 out, and I made one of my mixtapes based, but it was like a best of them. I took, because I used to do a lot of my own covers, I took the Industries cover just with their picture and did my own lettering and all that, and I sent it to them, and I sent them a letter or whatever. And like, I remember Big C, shout out to Big C from Grand Hustle. He was like, they was like ready to cover their BBL because they thought I was bootleg. But then TI's manager, Jason Jeter, shout out to Jason, was like, nah, if he doing this for us, we need to go ahead and put him down. And then I was going into my senior year at A&T, so I needed to an internship, so it worked out perfectly. So I got credit for doing the shit, and then I got a lot of valuable experience as well.
And what was your role there initially when you got there?
I was just really like for that area, I was just like, because they really hadn't had anybody, even the label Atlantic wasn't really working them. They didn't have anybody really just helping them out in those, the mid-Atlantic market. So they would send me a bunch of like promo stuff. I would go make sure it's everywhere. They had the little yellow tape stuff. I had that everywhere. They had the little rubber bands. They had everything. I got to give people like free mixtapes, but you know me, ain't nothing free with me because they got hot. So I would wholesale them out to the motherfucking stores and shit, make my money on it. So that was really what my job was. And then like when he had the beef with Lil Flip, because that was after I graduated, the Welcome Back freestyle that he did, because I was the one that was keeping them abreast of what was going on, because Lil Flip was. He was over in London. He was talking crazy on Tim Westwood. He was dissing them and stuff. See, they would have never knew without the internet. And I was just like, always on listening to this shit and all that. And I, got wind. I told him, it's like, yo, I need to Welcome Back instrumental. Man, I made a couple calls, got it. He did it, dissed them. Then we did that whole Down with the King shit. I gave him a lot of the instrumentals for it.
Okay. Oh, well, I didn't know that you was behind the scenes with getting the file, thing like that. Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it went down.
So while you were there, what lessons or advice do you feel like, since that was early and I'm sure pivotal in your career, being as though it was the beginning, what do you feel, what advice or lessons did you walk away with?
This shit's a business. Like, it's nothing personal. I think I came into that situation, because I didn't have any experience, I was a little green, so I had expectations, a lot more expectations than I probably should have. I assumed a lot of different things, and then I ended up parting ways with them, and it was probably the best thing for my career.
Yeah, because while you were there, that's when you met and built a rapport with Jeezy, right?
Yeah, correct. Well, the situation with Jeezy, my old manager, Quest, he was Coach K and Kinky B's assistant. Okay. So, like, I got to, when he recorded the intro for 103, that was my, 101, that was my first day in the studio, like, actually being, I had met him outside Patrick, but being in the studio with him, that was the first time I ever was in the studio with him. Okay. And so what was that like, your initial meeting and building that relationship and that friendship? Like how, how was that? Well, when I met him outside Patchwork, I gave him a CD or whatever, because I was still working with TI and them, and he was like, yeah, Coach been telling me about you and shit, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, you been putting my shit on a couple of your tapes and shit. I appreciate it 100%. So, that kind of just led it to build. And then I knew him from, from a couple of my people in the street, so it was something different. We had a different rapport anyway. Okay.
Well, I want to say congratulations currently on you all's successes on Tribe or Die 3.
Yeah,
like it's already been certified as one of his #1 albums, correct?
Yeah.
Did you think that it would be so successful so fast with the inconsistency of the music industry?
I knew we had a shot. I mean, Meek kind of came out of nowhere and kind of like it would make it a little tricky. We didn't know who was going to be #1, but I knew we were going to be strong because the feedback on a lot of the records that we had put out. I think the label would have let them know a little bit better, I think it would have did a little bit better. But it is what it is. They wanted all there. We gave them, let them know, and then we gave them all there and then they kind of went with it. But I knew it was going to be a #1 album.
And you had a personal hand and let them know and never settled?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and so how did, what was your actual role for those 2 tracks?
Well, it's a funny story because Let Them Know, actually the beat, I had sent it to the guy that Jeezy had handling Church in These Streets. Okay. I sent the beat, but I don't think he ever heard it. Okay. And so, the first thing, when he called me in January of 16, I was like, all right, cool. So the first beat I sent him was that. First 2 emails had that and never settled it, believe it or not. Okay. Which is the funniest shit in the world. I looked back in the email the other day, I told him that, he said, for real? I'm like, yeah.
So those particular beats could have been on Church in the Street.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's something we wouldn't have known. Yeah. So when you first met Jeezy, what was your initial role over there with CT or with him?
Well, at first I was Slick Puller's DJ at first, and then because of my situation, I couldn't really ever be on deck all the time, as they quote unquote said back then.
Is that because you were still kind of a grand hustle?
Or no. It was just because my situation where I was living up in up a little bit north, about an hour away, and I had reliable transportation at the time. So
okay, understood.
That, so I got replaced and didn't know. And so that happened, and then about a year later, Jeezy called me the first time to come be the A&R at the label for Slick Pulla and Blood Raw's project.
Okay.
So I handled that, and that was like recession time, so I got to be there the whole.
Wow, and Recession was not that, I'm a personal fan of Jeezy, so I feel like every album's a classic, but that one was like really monumental, like especially with the My President is Black. Right. That's a song that right now is coming back just as strong as it was when he made it, because of the state of the country and how everybody's sad that Obama's gone and we got Gump in the office. So, people are still holding on. That was our one little song that kind of solidified that our president was black.
Yeah, you're right.
So to be there in the creation of that album, like, how was that?
Well, I was there for I think I was there for the first session. Me and him kind of fell out, like, April, right before he put on, but I always told him put on as the first single. I told him that, like, every time, like, put on is your single. I'm like, I didn't know he was gonna put Kanye on it. Okay. But put on was always the single to me, because I knew, like, you heard in certain records you heard that ended up like on Trap or Die 2 and Trappin' Ain't Dead. They were also from the Recession. A lot of people don't know because
right. We don't know the behind the scenes.
Right. It was sample clearances, or just he felt like it didn't work, stuff like that. But yeah, I was there pretty much the whole time. Okay,
and was Trappin' Ain't Dead the first real collaboration that you hands-on, like not something you did with his music and made your own mixtapes, but that was something that you and him collaboratively?
Shield Gang Volume 1 in 07 actually was the first one. Then we did Shield Gang 2. Shield Gang 2 led to Trappin' Ain't Dead. Okay.
And how did as far as Trappin' Ain't Dead, I know that kind of catapulted you into like some really successful other camps. One of those being Cash Money.
Correct.
And Young Money. Like working with them, I know that had to have been like a feeling like no other. I mean, that's got to be music that you kind of grew up listening to, so to now be working alongside these people.
It was kind of different because Stunner was a fan of Trappin' Ain't Dead, so that's what led. It was this producer named Tommy Guns. Tommy, I was like, yo, you working with Stunner? Tell him holler at me. And he was like, yeah, Stunner wanna holler at you because he fucked with Trappin' Ain't Dead. So that kind of just and what's crazy, the first time I'm in the studio with Stunner, he didn't he didn't make it on time, so I left these 3 beats there. One of them turned out to be Money and Power on Priceless. It's like a bonus song. So I ended up getting a placement out of it
that you didn't even think would even
happen. Yeah.
So besides Priceless, you were on the Billionaire Minds mixtape. Right. You were on you had placements on I Am a Human Being. Mm-hmm. I Am Not a Human Being 1 and 2, or just one?
No, just 1, 2. A lot of records from 2 are either Lost in the Sauce or going on Carter 5.
Okay, yeah, Carter 4 and Carter 5. Yeah. Hands on Rich Gang album. Like, those are all some big heavy hitters right there. And you're just still so humble. Like, you're still like, it's Carter 4, Carter 5.
Well, you just got to look at it like when you're in the industry, a lot of people kind of get caught up and get the big head off a little bit of success. Whereas I have come to, when I expect success, I don't get, I stay even killed because, even if that was my last real big success in the music industry, it doesn't make any difference because I can go on to something else because I'm always goal-oriented. It's something bigger ahead. That's why I always look at it like that. I'm always, grateful for any success I get, but at the end of the day, you got to act like you've been there before.
And you do. I mean, you really have a sense of real humbleness. Like, I mean, although we've known each other, so I don't feel like you'd be like, who? Hit me with the
no
type of situation, but it's just like, how it can be. Some people attain that success and it's like, I can't even reach you anymore. Like, before I could send you an email, I could give you a call and we could rap, and then now it's like I gotta get through 6 people to even make contact. And it's like, who was that? Where with
Yeah.
Like, to be able to get you to sit down with me, I know you're in the middle of working on a project. You know, so for you to be able to take time out of your schedule to come and do my show, I definitely appreciate that.
Man, we go way back when you were Parasucos across the nigga. So
you forever making me relive my Parasuco days.
Yeah, because, man, it's a quick story. This motherfucker used to be like, come across, niggas would be like, who is that? I'm like, man, that's Shay from DC. Like, real shit. I seen Shay for about the first 2 years, and then Shay got go. She got on this shit and graduated. Said, fuck y'all niggas, man.
So you said in an interview with allhiphop.com that, you know, you had a lot of conversations with Baby and Slim, you know, while you were able to work with them. What nuggets or jewels do you feel like you may have taken away from that has helped shape you in this industry, help your growth?
Don't ever stop working.
Okay.
Don't ever stop working. Slim, Baby, both have said it repeatedly to me when I've had conversations with them. And then, you know, our conversations, you know, as far as, you know, it's here and there. It ain't, I haven't talked to either one of them. I haven't talked to Stunner in probably like maybe 3 years. Okay. So, but, you know, it ain't no, it's all love. You know, whatever is going on with him and Wayne and that whole situation, even though it's affecting the producers I got on there, it's none of my, it's like, it's family business. It's like they have to figure it out. And, you know, hopefully it'll be figured out this year and, you know, we'll get a couple albums.
And a couple more checks. So, another person whose career you had a hand in, especially in the developmental stage, is Big K.R.I.T.
Right.
How did that meeting, and, like, how did you meet him? How did that, you know, what were you doing with him?
Well, his cousin was crazy. Me and my guy down in Miami, DJ Papa Smurf, shout out to him. We did this tape called Trap to the Store. Originally, it was supposed to be Jeezy and Trick hosted because Coach K was like, yeah, I'm going to get the drops. Never got the drops, but I ended up getting, like, I had Get Your Mind Right. Okay. So I got it early. I played Get Your Mind Right on that tape, so niggas was like, what the fuck? How the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But didn't realize all I did was rip it off the audio from the raw report. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's all I did. But then, but K.R.I.T's cousin, this dude named D Jones, he was managing him at the time. He's like, I got this dude, woo, woo, woo. And my guy Tim Buck and rest in peace Omar, they were like, yeah, this kid Big K.R.I.T from Mississippi, he's like 18, he cold as fuck. I'm like, all right, cool. But you know, I didn't know him, so I just made, you know, his cousin was like, I'm gonna shoot you $250 for putting him on the tape. Man, if I told you, Funk Shop downtown, shout out to Rick over by the Underground. This nigga kept selling that tape because of K.R.I.T's song. It wasn't no other, it's all established artists on that tape, but everybody want that song with K.R.I.T on it. This is like 05. So that shit was mind boggling. So after that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with him. So we ended up doing See Me on Top 2. I ain't really I gave him a lot of the beats, the freestyle on it, but I didn't really put the most, I was still kind of green DJing wise, so it doesn't sound the best for me. You know, in hindsight, but you know, it worked for him. Then we did, we were working on a lot of shit. We were working on this shit called Audio Trap, and I still got all the records. Like, he did the Black Republicans freestyle back then. Like, I got a bunch of records from him. Then, you know, he got signed to Cinematic with Johnny Shipes, and it kind of just, you know, I kind of like fell by the wayside. There's no bad blood, but you know, he kind of went on his own, and I think, you know, I feel like his career could have been so much better, you know, if he would have just, like, I like what he does, but he's still, people haven't really got a chance to see what K.R.I.T can do, like, super lyrically, because he's, like, incredible. Yeah, you put me on the K.R.I.T. Yeah. I remember when you first was like, love, check your emails and send you something. So I was like, Big K.R.I.T, because it's K. So I was like, what the fuck is a big, I was like, I ain't even gonna listen to it. I bullshitted on the link. It had been maybe 1 or 2. Somehow I ended up hearing a track from him on some site. I'm like, shit, that's the nigga that folk track. So I tried to do the link. Link ain't working. I hit you up like, look, I need the link. The link won't work. Like, nah, see, when I send you the link, you gotta get on the link. The link might not work now. I gotta find you another link. And I was sick about it because I was like, you had been trying to, as you always have, but I slept. That one time I slept and I couldn't get to the music that fast no more. So seeing as how you're so good at, you know, being able to have this ear for, you know, talent production-wise and artist-wise, have you ever thought about maybe starting a mentorship or some type of
production school clinic, something where you can kind of really mold or mentor some of the up and coming artists or producers?
I mean, the way these kids are now, I mean, I give them the best. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like Beat Bully, I put him in a position because there was so many vultures trying to reach around and grab him when he had House Party. So I put him with the right situation. He was about to sign, you know, okay, pub deal. He would have got some cool little money, but me helping him, he ends up with a song deal with Cash Money. He ends up with a pub deal at Sony ATV for double the money he would have got at Universal. So, you know, he got BMI check. Like, he's seen some money, like him, but he's like a cautionary tale because, you know, he was so young.
Right,
and, you know, and he coming from the hood, you know, a lot of these kids don't have, you know, the business savvy or business sense.
Right.
You know, they just get a bunch of money and, you know, do nigga shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you got it. And, like, I wish I really could just teach kids who come in the industry a personal finance class because niggas don't understand. You got to pay taxes. You got to pay your lawyer. You got to pay all these people. So you might not get as much money because you got to do all that business, but shit, it's better doing that business like that than having a tax lien for $150,000 later on. Absolutely,
you see a lot of stars are going through that. Like mega stars, you think would have the wherewithal to know-how of managing their money or paying the taxes, but they're actually going to prison. Wesley Snipes, other people are like, and it's not a game. The IRS is coming, so that would be. I didn't even think about that angle. So the fact that you would rather teach them the real business or the financial business of the game, because I guess at this point everybody's a producer or everybody feels like.
And they have a cousin that's a manager, and, you know, all their homeboy who's a manager, and then shit just it goes all bad.
But currently, you do accept beats from, you know, from everybody and listen to them, and you actually listen to them. Like, you're not just telling them, send them to me, and then you.
I mean, I had somebody go. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I used to have somebody go through my email, but now I got to do it myself because, man, I was missing out on gems that way. So I was like, nah, man, because you know, shit gets kind of hectic. Like for me, because like I still gotta have time. It's 24 hours in a day, and I gotta get that 5-6 hours of sleep, no matter what. Because man, like Jeezy had me like last week had me in for 18 hours, you know, in the spot. I went to sleep in the studio and get a
I saw it on your snap. When are you not in there? The whole snap for like 3 days straight was just straight studio.
And that's just how it be. And like shit, I went to sleep for 3 hours, get up and go home.
Were you even sleep at? I know you said sleep for 3 hours and then go home.
Yeah, and then go.
So you sleep in the studio.
Yeah.
That's that life, huh?
Yeah, that's how you know if you don't make that kind of sacrifice, man, this shit might not be for you. And that's just being real.
So it's really about dedication and really staying hard on your grind.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And what is that process like? How do you know if it's a certified hit or if...
You really don't. Because it's like me and Jeezy have conversations like Not Afraid by Eminem. Jeezy had that beat first. Who's to say he would have got on it and made it a #1 record? That's the whole point. He had it's a lot of records. He had the record with Baby. I Gave Baby that started the whole shit with me and Cash Money. He had that beat first. He's had a bunch of beats that come through me first, but you know, who's to say it's gonna be a hit? It's different circumstances. All kind of variables happen to make shit hit records, and that's what.
So when you get them, so you hear a beat. When you first hear it, if you hear maybe 2 to 3 different artists, let's say you say I can hear Jeezy on this, or I can hear.
If I can hear 4 or 5 artists on it, then I'm on to something. That's the biggest thing. If I can't hear, that's the key. Like you kind of limit yourself. Oh, this beat's for this person, man. Like matter of fact, let them know after Jeezy passed, I said in the future. They didn't bite on it though.
Wow.
So you would never know that if I didn't tell you.
Damn. Okay. So being a vet in the game and having seen, a couple different eras of music, what is your current opinion of the state of what, is going on in hip hop? Like the indiscernible lyrics, the overtone of drug consumption lyrics, the lack of respect for those who paved the way. We can take each section.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just, I think it's social media more than, cause when I was young, I didn't give a fuck what the old nigga told me. So it's the same shit. It's like, and that's why I had to put in like perspective. I'm like, man, I'm definitely washed up and get off my lawn ass nigga now because
you Stanley?
Yeah,
get off my grass.
Get off my grass. I mean, that's basically what hip hop. But you gotta let the youngies do them at the end of the day, because even how they consume music, dog. I was looking at like Big Sean, Migos, and all that, because everything's changed to sales and streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Sales, Trevor Died 3 outsold them first week. Right. On their first weeks, like outsold them, but their streams game is incredible because of social media and the internet. Okay. So I mean, like even the Little Migos fucking Rolling Stone interview where they just kind of through McConan, they kind of said something about Jeezy and Ludacris, and I was just like, them niggas just young. At the end of the day, they're just young. They don't understand. They just like, they got a little bit of success, and this is new to them, so they don't know how to really react. So I don't even fault them for what they say, because it's just being young and dumb.
Okay. So do you think they need a team to kind of reel that in, or do you think it should be okay? It's just freedom of expression, just let it out?
They got it now because of success. They have a PR person, and that's why they sent out a press release about McConan.
Right. I did see that.
Because they didn't want, the lesbian and gay groups to
yes,
and kill them like that. So they just did that. But man, you know how they really feel now. So it's just like, it's on you to say whether you want to fuck with them or not. It's never about, it's really always about the music, but we're in an era where it's about everything else but the music.
Yes, absolutely. And so my follow-up question, do you think that production carries a record where the lyrics don't? Like people are more engrossed into the beat than they really are what's being said?
Yeah, I think the production and the hook. It's been that like since the beginning of the music, to be honest with you.
I mean, kind of, but if you think kind of back in the day, a lot of people will quote the lyrics of an artist. They'll say, "This, do you hear this bar or this line or this verse that he said?" This, versus now it's more everybody's with the beat and the hook. Yeah. So it has been a beat hooks, thing across the board throughout the years. But I think back then the lyrics did hold a lot more weight, where the production may not have been as strong.
I mean, I feel like it's just since like the beginning, it's all like, hit records, like Billboard charting records and stuff. It's always been about the beat and the hook. Everything else is subjective. Now, niggas' great projects, it's about everything.
Okay.
Like nigga albums, that's it. But I mean, I think, saying that, we're really a single-driven industry now. It's not really about album sales. It's about what your single does.
Didn't even think about it like that. You're right. No one's really looking for full bodies of work. It's like next big hit. Who's got that hit? Who's got the next great tune we're going to listen to in the car or in the club?
Right. You're right.
Okay. So do you think that the producer-rapper duo has taken over the DJ-rapper dynamic of the...
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, Metro and Future, Shorty Red, D Rich and Jeezy. Who else would because I mean those are the most prevalent in my world, because even like the Migos, they don't have just a set producer they really fuck with. Like Metro did Bad and Bougie, but they got all these different guys you've never heard of who do all the other records, like
right.
So that Zaytoven and Gucci is a pretty prevalent. Drummer Boy Jeezy, Drummer Boy Gucci, Shorty Red Gucci too, to a certain extent. Manny Fresh and all that Cash Money shit at one point. T-Minus, Boy Wonder and Drake.
Right.
All of that. I think that, the last like 5, Snoop and Dr. Dre, of course.
Right, exactly.
Because they were the original ones, but I think, the producer combo with the artist really makes a bigger difference.
And do you think with artists working with a sole producer, it kind of really helps develop their sound, on both sides?
I mean, it's a gift and a curse working with, because I mean, I heard a lot of, with us, with Trevor Died 3, they were feeling like a lot of the beats sound the same, and I was like, nah, because About That don't sound like, All There, or Where That, or any of the other shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but on certain projects, like, I've heard records like, people say, like Future, like, they said a lot of this shit starting to sound the same, and I'm just like, okay, but this is the same sound that you fucking gravitated to. It's just, I think people are so fickle about what's trendy instead of really listening to this shit that it hurts them in the long run.
Okay. And what do you think about, I'm sorry. You said in an interview a few years back that, you know, the rap game's a little too fake friendly. Everybody's bro and everybody's, you know, there's no real competitiveness and no real, you know, where people are going at each other's necks. Right. Recently, Young Dolph released a diss to Yo Gotti. Have you heard it?
Yes.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, because I'm cool with both sides, it's like, you know, when I heard it, I was like, oh, wow. Because, you know, I kind of know the history of that whole situation. It's just like, you know, they really can't coexist right now because it's like, it's deeper than rap. So I really don't have no personal opinion. When I heard it, I was just like, oh yeah, he pulled the stay strap. You know, and I was just being real. I was like, oh shit. So I know Gotti kind of might be taking a high road. I don't know what they're thinking over there. You know, I talk to his brother B Mims all the time, but it's just rap, man. It's like, nigga,
you think it's good for the culture, or you think it might be like the new age hit 'em up?
I'm gonna be honest with you because it's so many street elements, like street dudes now running around rapping. I just don't, because it makes situations kind of uncomfortable when you're at different venues and the motherfuckers up over there, or in the same vicinity, the same city. Like shit that happened to CIAA a few years ago with, you know, they was like that was linked to Gotti and Dolph.
Oh, okay.
You know, when somebody got shot. So I don't know how true it was, but that's just like, that's the terrifying, you know, reality of it. So,
that it could get to it could go from off wax to banging in the streets.
Right.
Wow. I'm hoping that it can just stay on wax, so that Gotti doesn't even respond and he's just like, whatever, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna just look away. What do you think about, you know, Kodak Black and how he's kind of coming at Lil Wayne? Do you think that's competitive, or?
It's more like Kodak is young. And you know what I'm saying? But Kodak is he's
smart.
He's super intelligent. Even though he's got in certain situations, the kid is actually fucking highly intelligent. It's just the environment he comes from, the people around him, and all that. Now, he doesn't have the same management that he used to. He actually has some strategic guys around him. But the shit, you know, it's just, you know, you gotta leave the Instagram and Twitter alone, man. You gotta have somebody who has your, you know, especially when you're an artist, you can't really have control of your own shit no more because, man, you might be feeling away and you doing shit like you just ain't got no money on the line, you still doing what coming up or something. You in the hood somewhere, you can't do it no more. Right. Like even me, I don't even tweet crazy like I used to. You know what I mean? Because,
yeah, you have it, and that's,
you know, because I'm different because I know it's business at the end of the day.
Right. And with everything that's going on in the state of the country, do you think that it would even be wise for us to go with each other like this, though? The Gotti and the Dolph and the, you know, should we be more trying to come together? Or would you still like to see the competitiveness, even though it's just music? But if you look at it, they kind of look at us in a whole through our how we act, through music, through television, through everything. They judge our shows if we're not, you know, acting accordingly. So do you think that maybe right now we shouldn't, you know, it should be a little friendly in hip hop? Or
in a perfect world, I wish everybody can get their differences out with each other without having anybody getting hurt. That's just being real. I mean, but it's not gonna happen. But in a perfect world, that's where I would like it.
Okay. So now we're going to transition to the point of the show where everybody gets to know about who DJ Fo really is.
Oh my God.
Yes, loosen up your collars and get a little hat. Little hat. So, you're from an era where before you couldn't really Snapchat that pussy, as Yo Gotti would say.
Right.
Now, you can just send your whole box through DMs.
Right.
What type of DMs are you getting these days? They know you in the industry, you got that little blue check next to your name, your following count sometimes makes the bitches, you know, pull the girls out. What are you receiving?
I mean, honestly, my shit is kind of dry now. Maybe when I was a little bit whatchamacallit, a lot more active on Twitter and everything else, you know, I would get some, you know, some interesting things sent to me. But now, you know, I still get them every now and then from a couple of my joints that I used to fuck with back in the day. Just, you know, on the still let the checking in shit. But now it's not even nowhere near like that. Not even my text, because I just be so busy now, like, I don't have time.
Are you really old man folk these days?
I'm old and washed. I'm get off my lawn Twitter now. So that's just being real. But nah, I mean, I get certain things here and there. Nothing crazy like I used. Now 20 when it was Wild Wild West, Twitter and Instagram and all that, I used to get everything. Man, that shit used to be like motherfucking market. I could just get in there.
Did you have back page in your DMs? Did you have bitches like, they're gonna?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And then with my original background, when I used to make beats for the flicks, so to speak.
We can jump that question ahead. So yes, you used to make music for the porn industry.
Right. And what's crazy? It started in a little loft over in the West End. 404girls.com. My boy Jay. What's so crazy? Jay actually works for the Falcons now. That's what's so fucking crazy.
Shout out to Jay for the Falcons.
That motherfucker, I was at A&T making beats on the first Fruity Loops to ever come out. And this motherfucker, I used to be a fan of his original site when it was like on GeoCities or some wild ass shit back then. If you know the internet, GeoCities, you used to set up your own little page. You could put whatever the fuck you want on there. You could fucking sell pussy on there if you wanted to. But that shit, he had that shit. I was a fan of his little site. He was coming up with the amateur porn shit. And I sent him some beats and shit. That shit was a catalyst. I made a lot of money doing that shit.
Okay. And since we have been talking about the industry and as far as your career, what would you consider to be like industry pussy? Is that just like a bitch who is just consistently looking for or seeking to be with industry individuals, someone who just happened to have been with industry? I mean, they didn't seek it out, but they just happened to have been. Or what would you?
I think now, man, the internet has just like all these social media platforms. Like I remember back in the days, like when I was with TI and shit, moving around. You had the chicks that used to be at the VIP. Now it's just like pick up my phone, let's see what's on my Snap, see on my Instagram. Bride's a DM away. So, honestly, industry pussy could be anything now. Back then, it was a certain, chicks, most of the video chicks and shit like that. A couple of little chicks that always used to be in the club and shit. That was it. Now it's wide open.
Have you ever used your position in the industry as leverage or to get with or get at a female?
No.
Never?
No. Nah, absolutely not. I've never, I've had like a little chick I kind of fuck with now, like, nothing real serious or nothing like that, but she was always a fan of Trap It Ain't Dead, and that shit just opened the door for me,
So the music opened it up for you. It wasn't that you used it, but because she knew who you were and that you were, okay.
And she slid in my DMs and, that's how it went down.
Are you currently single?
I don't have. It's currently complicated.
That is a status on Facebook.
I'm not gonna say I'm not. I'm not gonna say I am. It's kind of just like that gray, murky area. It is what it is. I can do what I want at the same time, but when I'm committed and serious, I kind of just I don't even entertain anything else.
Okay. Well, what's your type?
I really don't really have one, to be honest with you. It's funny because my ex DM, she said something to me on her. She's like, "You don't even like black girls anymore." I'm like, "Where do you get that?" Like so what I did when she said that, I sent her I sent her a video of me and one of my little chicks, and my chick is like, Afro Latina or whatever. So she was like, "This shows you otherwise. I still like the melanin." That's what I hit her with, and she was just like. She didn't say nothing because we know
you like those mommies.
Man, I like all women.
You like all women?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
What's your freak number, folk?
What the fuck is that?
Like what? Okay, so are you licking toes freaky, or are you? No. So where's your limit? What's your number? Where you at with it? You like just missionary sex position? No. So where you at? You ain't licking toes, but you ain't missionary. Where you at with it? What you doing?
I don't really.
You like a 5?
I don't know. I just do me, to be honest with you. I kind of just go with the flow, but I don't do too much. No wild.
So shit. You like a 3.5? Yeah. You lights on or lights off?
Either or.
So we put you at a 4 right now. You talking? You just quiet? You asking whose pussy is that? You talking about this? Like what you doing?
I mean, choke stroke.
Okay, we might be. We got the choke stroke. outfit, y'all acting like you somebody else.
Hey man, it's just whatever I go with the flow. It just depends on what my joints want.
So you might be like a.
I'm about a
like
6.5, 7.
Probably like a 7.92.
Yeah, I don't do none of that crazy, that wild ass shit, man. Like all that other shit, man. I'm cool on. Like people getting out of hand with the shit they do.
Well, now that we have definitely tapped into your career, we've gotten your views on the industry, and we definitely know that you're at a 7.92 with your sex game. I definitely appreciate you coming out, man. Right. Tell the people where they can find you, keep up with you, and how can they send you beats?
You can send me, I got a beat Twitter called Meet the Connect. It's MEETDA and Connect CONNECT. Go there, the email's on there. If you just want to shoot the shit with me about basketball, rap, whatever, DJ folk on all social media. I don't really tweet I tweet, but I don't tweet a lot because, man, I can't get caught in the fucking black hole that is social media sometimes. You sit there on your phone, like you'll see me out here, I'll be on my phone just reading shit, but I won't be interacting with people because I'm just reading to see what fucking people, what's on their mind right now.